suck it in.
You must be drinking a lot of coffee.
Not a lot of coffee because I get my kick from the energy of our followers. So my coffee comes from
the followers.
Yes.
And I can see that energy is really building. Now, you've been in the news recently because you were left out of a debate. What happened?
So we heard that it was going to be a presidential debate. And we're excited about it because it was an opportunity to meet with the big players in the game, both young and old. And we were prepared for it. As a matter of fact, we had rumors that there were attempts to break it into two so that I won't have to confront people I call it big owners. But somehow some influence came in and I was completely excluded. They claimed first that it was a decision made based on character. And I started asking that, okay, who here has a problem with character between the guy who cannot enter the US and the one who just came from the US? Who has character between the president of the country who's got a lot of baggage with regards to performance and efficiency and clarity, and these young persons who know what they want for the country, who are loaded, as we call it here. And then they shifted and say, oh, we didn't have enough funding for it, that's why we can't take everybody. But it turned out that this was just so that that debate would not create a lot of problems, because they tried to reach out to me to see if I could tone down a little bit. And I said to them, our leaders are tone deaf, and we have to go after the eardrums at the debates. Yes.
Talking about toning down a little so you can blend with what we have you ever given that a thought?
No.
Or you want to be like me, always facing them?
I don't envy you, but I like what you do, and I think every society, every facet of our life is in need of a daddy freeze. Politically, religiously, legally, socially, culturally, and I've tried to do a little bit of everything, and a lot of controversy that's trailed my own life as well. Even this campaign, going to palaces where I was tear gassed for not doing what people expect you to do when you get to a palace, because I was maltreated for, I was kept waiting for a long time, and nobody has ever heard that before. It's like, who are you? How dare you? But now people are getting used to it. I have been to a situation where soldiers were beating people on the streets, and I intervened, and everybody thought I was crazy. But I've been in those conditions and positions before where I wish somebody could intervene to save me, and I had to risk it. So that's why we can't afford to tone down. We need to tune up our activism. We need to tune up our consciousness so that we can we can put the country on a path of that progress and that it desires. It deserves. So there's no tuning down. I can only hope that everybody will be like us at this time. Be like that freeze somewhere who is speaking truth to power.
Now there's another debate that's supposed to be in January. What date is it, and are you participating this time?
It's January 19th. That's supposed to be the presidential debate. We lost out of the vice presidential debate, and it's exactly the reason why they didn't want us to participate. They want Nigerians to be presented with what we call fait accompli, only two candidates of the two major political parties. And they did it so well with the people they chose as vice presidential candidates to match up with PDP or APC candidates. And by the time they were done, everybody was like, oh, these young persons are not prepared yet. But if our candidate had been there, it would have changed the narrative. And that's what we're about to do. But in this particular instance, we actually have gone to court to force them to include us in that debate.
Do you see yourself getting victory from the courts?
I don't know, but my hope is that the courts are a place where people can get justice, and they have a duty to do justice.
Yes.
But I know this is political, and what will eventually make them do what is right is political pressure. Even the courts, do justice sometimes based on social justice clamors.
I want to ask you a question. Every single government,
Yes.
I was brought to Nigeria as a 3-year-old in 1979.
Wow.
And every single government between 1979 and now has tried to and promised to fix electricity,
Yes.
power.
Yes.
Do you think you can fix it?
I can.
In how many years?
I'll do it in 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes, I will at least hook over 60 to 70 million people to the national grid in 2.5 years. And this is how I do it. The same way they did in Egypt recently. Between Egypt and Germany, Siemens in Germany, they increased their electricity supply by 14,500 megawatts of electricity. It's a mix, solar, gas, hydro, and they spent $7.2 billion to do it. And all those people, that is from December 2016 till about middle of 2018. And all the 40 million people are already hooked now. And we spent here $16 billion generating darkness. They spent $7.2 billion generating electricity for 40 million people. So at the rate at which they did it for Nigeria, because it's probably cheaper labor here, we have better opportunities here, because people are willing to work, we can do actually about 30,000 megawatts. But our promise for 2.5 years is 24,000 megawatts of electricity, which will light up over 50 to 60 million households.
You spoke about gas.
Yes.
And that's the bane of the southwest part of Nigeria. Gas is still being flared as we speak.
In Niger Delta, everywhere.
What can be done to curb that wastage, in your opinion?
Yes. You see, gas that is being flared is gas that is polluting the environment. Gas that is captured and converted to liquid gas. It's a gas that can provide energy. What we need to do is to capture the gas and turn them into kinetic energy. Let me just use that freely, and use it to generate electricity. One thing that has not even happened in Nigeria, which has happened everywhere else, is that there has not been gas pipelines to homes, just like we have electricity.
In Europe,
in Europe, everywhere else is having it. We're still rolling around cylinders. And that in itself is a huge source of revenue. It's a huge source of jobs for people, because to hook up gas pipelines to about 100 million homes in Nigeria, you provide nothing less than 5 million jobs to people. And people will be fixing them when there is a problem. We have 9-point-something billion cubic feet of gas in Ogoni land alone. And right now it's being flared. We need to capture it, use it for, running our turbines and use it to generate electricity. But we need to clean up Ogoni land first, because we've just been paying lip service. What I would say to you, since 1979, and this gives credence to what I say, we have not had leaders that are critical thinkers. This is the best Nigeria that the leaders since 1979 can give to you. Probably Nigeria was better than this in 1979. I went to Ado Ekiti on Sunday. It took us an hour and a half to get from Akure to Ado Ekiti. When I went there in 1986, it was 30 minutes drive. So that tells you where we've gone. We have been going in reverse direction.
We've been hustling backwards.
In a free fall. And that has to stop. And that's why we're here.
Now, you're young, and with youth comes futuristic thinking. Globally, fossil fuels are being downplayed and alternative energy is being emphasized. Have you begun thinking of that with regard to the future?
Absolutely. I spoke on Channels TV a few days ago, and I said, I'm from Niger Delta region, and I keep telling my brothers and sisters there, the next Niger Delta region, so to speak, might be northern Nigeria, because of technology. So, assuming all of our solar energy power is coming from Sokoto, Jigawa, Kebbi, and Adamawa and Zamfara, where do you think we'll pay attention to? The lifespan of fossil fuel is not more than another 20 years. I'm being generous.
Yeah, yes. Maximum.
Because Japanese car makers are making electricity cars, they're making solar powered cars. They're using technology freely. You now have shale oil. It's another technology in getting oil from the bottom of the sea that don't require you coming to Nigeria. So pretty soon, nobody's going to buy Nigerian oil, and nobody has the capacity to drink oil. So you better be prepared. And I advise everybody who is relying heavily on oil to start seeking knowledge, because the world is going to be driven by knowledge-based economic systems going forward. And you look at all the companies that are doing the best, even in stock markets around the world, they're tech-based companies. You know, you have Apple, you have Amazon.
Do you see any tech giant emerging from Nigeria?
Absolutely. You know, not only do I see tech giants, emerging from Nigeria, I see, tech genius emerging from Nigeria. There are a lot of young people that, if they just have a little opportunity, they will do wonders. I've seen it happen with so many of them before. I'm in a tech community here in the country, and without you knowing, there is an eBay in Nigeria. There is a PayPal in Nigeria already. You know, so you're talking about 200 million people. The population of the U.S. is just 320 million people, or thereabout. Nigeria is more than half the population of the U.S. If you have 200 million people who are thinking creatively, you can have a lot of tech people come out of the place. Already, they've demonstrated it in music, movies. So you can imagine one day, some guy is going to be the next Facebook Mark Zuckerberg.
Out of Nigeria.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hit a song. I've got KJ here, and when we come back, it's still Omoyele, Sowore, and I right here. Stick around, Lagos. Stop. Nice. I wanted to see, are you sure your fingers were not getting in the way?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you tried.
Thank you.
Now there's one more left. Ogasho, what do you really want me to? I've asked you my own set of questions that have been bugging my mind.